Welcome to my humble abode. I wasn't even outside. I got socks on. A lot of you have been asking me, Game Dave, where's the game room tour? We want to see all those games. Today it's gonna happen. Behind this door is the game room tour. Check it out. We got Wits and Wagers, Dominion. We got Settlers of Catan. We've got a kickball, Urban Myth. Is this not the game room tour you were talking about? Oh, I know what you meant. You meant the video game room tour. Let's do it. Welcome to the game room. Hello? Hello? Look at that Game Boy protector. No time for this. We've got a tour to do. Yeah, you might have seen I've got these little weird transparent Final Fantasy posters. Pretty neat. 10, 7, 9. Down here we got a little painting from Square Painter. That's my boy, Adam! And down here we got, whoa, easy. Let's come on over here. This is one of the first big racks I got at a Goodwill when one of the local movie kings went out of business. I was like, let me get that, 20 bucks. This is where the game collection started, really building up. So I've kind of used it to display these Final Fantasy sheet music books, because I love the music from Final Fantasy. I might play the keys, tickle the ivories a little bit, 6, 7, and Chrono Cross. Amazing soundtrack. But underneath this section of Final Fantasy VII action figures, we've got my shame, my embarrassment, my disappointment. The excessive Amiibo thing. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. Too many Amiibos, my Amiibros. Over here we've got an empty rack, though. There's nothing on this rack to compare to the Amiibos. Maybe I should, oh, actually, this is a little thing, a mystery cart that, Steven sent me. I haven't even tested it out yet. Looks great. Maybe you could help me out. Maybe this could be the Game Dave viewer rack. You could send me stuff and I could put it on there. I don't know what. Mystery carts? Send it to me, Game Dave, P.O. Box 1695, Dover, Delaware 19903. It's all up front for the brand. And over here we've got boxes. I'm talking boxes on boxes, beside boxes, old boxes, new boxes, PS4 boxes, PS2 boxes. It's just console boxes. I don't know. I think it looks good, right? You guys feeling this? Maybe? Over here, look at this cool little treat. That's the Swan Crystal, the Wonder Swan Crystal, the coveted best Wonder Swan you can get, the best screen. Don't kiss on it. And behind it's the Final Fantasy II Wonder Swan. Whatever. Moving on! And over here, it's the Game Dave Control Center, the Command Center, where the videos get made. And I guess this is where the Legos don't get made, because they're still in all the boxes. What am I doing? Now, you would think I don't have any more Amiibos. Wrong! I somehow still have more Amiibos, but these are the cream of the crop. These are some of my favorite Amiibos. I mean, look how cute that Mega Man is. There's a cute little Mega Man. It is. But below the Amiibos, we've got all the books and guides for various RPGs, because as you know, I love the role-playing games. Try to alphabetize them, but it doesn't always work, because you get new books, you can't fit them in. Final Fantasy games, we got the Suikoden guides over here. As you know, Game Dave loves that Suikoden. I've even got the Suikoden guidebooks in Japanese that I can't read. Why would I do that? And don't forget the soundtracks. Gotta have them. Right here, we've got a pretty interesting piece of my video game history. The Vectrex. This is a unique arcade-style vector game system with a built-in screen, and it had these little overlays they could use to give it color and designs. This one's for Heads Up Soccer, Game of the Year. But this was my first ever video game console. Before the NES, before the Game Boy even. My mom gave me this thing, a Vectrex. Thanks, Mom. I love the Vectrex. It's so unique. It has a pop-out controller down here. It pops out so easy. Look how easy it pops out. Pops right out. But when it does pop out, you can play these really unique vector-based games with a joystick and buttons. I'm a fan of the Vectrex. Now we're to the good... Hold on, Pokemon Go. I gotcha. Gotta get that Venonat. There it is. Got him. Pokemon Go. Now it's time for the good stuff. What you've been waiting for. The console shelves. You can see I've got just a couple of them set up here. I try to keep as many of my original consoles hooked up as possible. And that might be a little tricky on this big old HD television. But that's where this bad boy comes in, the Framemeister. Thank you, My Life in Gaming, for making me throw away so much money. Making my retro consoles HD. Yes. Which one's your favorite, though? What's your favorite? And also, which one do you think is missing? What am I leaving out here? No turbo graphics? But Game Dave, how do you keep all those consoles clean? Well, I have it covered. Camera looks a little dusty. Look at that. Suikoden 2, I love it. I also love wood. Little wood guys. Down here, I've got a PlayStation 2 store sign. Pretty nifty. Found this at a flea market down south for $30. But that was like 6 years ago. This thing's probably a little pricey now. Probably a little pricey. But underneath, we got the Game Boy game racks. If you saw My Life in Gaming's episode that featured me and featured the game room, you would have seen these nail polish racks. They're the perfect way to display your Game Boy games. You can see it really works well. Oh. Mega Man 2 for the Game Boy. What? Did this... I think this came out of a dog's butt, is what happened. You know what? Game Dave, P.O. Box 1695, Dover, Delaware 19903. Help fix this cart today. Don't send me anything. Now we're getting into the console games. NES, Super Nintendo boxed, Atari games hiding down here, which I don't play very often. Don't hate me for that. But I like to keep them alphabetized. That's ABC order. ABC order. Look at these over here, though. Let's take a look at some of these. You got them in the box, some favorites, Batman Returns, which I just reviewed. And of course, over here we've got some loose games. And one of my rarest games. Let's see, where could it be? Mighty Final Fight, perhaps? Pretty rare one. Pretty rare one. Wait, who the... Ray M. strikes again. Now you might notice one of these games is not like the other because it has its very own plastic box protector. Sweet Tender. Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu. See you soon on Game Dave. And of course, like I said, down here we got the box Super Nintendo games. Some highlights, of course, Final Fantasy 2 and 3. 4 and 6, right? It's 4 and 6. And Legend of Zelda. Everyone's gotta have A Link to the Past. It's probably the best Zelda game, am I right? It's one of my favorites. It's the only Zelda game I like, actually. Don't tell anybody. I've been outed again. Then we've got our Super Nintendo loosey-goosey games, some Game Boy Advance, but then we're down into the import corner. The Famicom corner, you might say. Got some Super Famicom games, all kinds of Famicom games, because they weren't a consistent style to the boxes as well as the carts. They're all unique, which gives it this really bright, colorful feel. This is quite the colorful shelf. Now, underneath all the boxed Famicom games, I've got some more Super Famicom games hidden down there. And, oh, look at this. Mega Man in a board game. Rock Board. Isn't that unique? Now we're in the fan favorite, Nintendo 64. You'll notice I've got N64 end labels. I know they're not stock, but I'm tired of not knowing what I'm pulling off my shelf. What, I want Monopoly? Got him. And to finish up Nintendo, I've got a fairly paltry GameCube collection. I got some Wii games. I do like the Wii. And the Wii U, 3DS, DS. Not bad. Not bad. It's good stuff. Here we are. We've arrived at my favorite console of all time, the original PlayStation. Get it? What drew me to the PlayStation was always those awesome JRPGs, and even when I went through that phase where I was like, I'm getting rid of all these extra games, I kept a tight grip on all those role-playing games. So a lot of these are my original PlayStation games. Now, of course, PS2 is obviously a good chunk of the collection as well. It's not quite as iconic to me, even though it was, I guess, the best-selling console of all time, or at least it is right now. And then we have PS3, PS4, got some cool limited editions. The problem with games is finding the time to play them. So I'm not going to open it up until I'm ready to play it. I'm just going to sit there. Now, no retro game room is complete without a couple of classic tube televisions, CRTs, cathode rays, shooting that juicy retro goodness in pixel form, I guess. It's the best way to play games. Or is it? We'll get to that a little bit later. And the last shelf of games, of course, is, whatever, Sega, Xbox. Clearly my favorites. Now this is the way to play retro games. The PVM, the BVM, professional broadcast monitors is what you want to use. Got the Super Nintendo hooked up with a little Stunt Race FX. And when you have RGB hooked into a PVM, it's going to be crisp, so crisp. I've got one here, I've got one up here, but the best one is still on the way. Thanks to My Life in Gaming, Corey and Try hooking me up. So that's it. That is the Game Dave Game Room. Whew, really puts things into perspective when you start shooting it. But I want to thank you for coming and hanging out in the Game Room, and I want to send out a special thanks to all the patrons on the Patreon page for Game Dave. I know I don't really talk about it. I just kind of put it up as a fluke, and some people found it, and they wanted to help support the show, and the Game Room tour was one of the goals. Here it is! So thanks to the patrons. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. All right. See you guys. See you later.